All right, let's talk about some NBA. We'll talk about LeBron wanting to start his own subsidiary company with Nike, but and signing Luka, but it didn't work. And Jordan ended up getting him. But first, let's talk about James Harden. Preference, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, was John Wall over Russell Westbrook. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support, get comfortable. And my whole thing is, James Harden just seemed to be the Black Widow of the NBA. No teammate pretty much worked with him. You talk about him, Mikal, Howard didn't work. Him and Chris Paul didn't work. After that, him and Russell Westbrook didn't work. So, and also with his ability choking in the NBA Finals for the Thunder, if he had played to his, standards, the Thunder would have made that Finals a little bit more competitive versus LeBron James. So that's just my opinion. That was like 2011, 12 Finals? Jesus, time flies. But, basically, you got to ask yourself with James Harden, man. Is he gonna be willing to make it work with John Wall? Because John Wall, he's not a good off the ball player unless he's slashing. John Wall is a point guard. John Wall need the ball in his hands to be effective. Is he working on his jumper over the years? Yeah. And is he a good defender? Yeah. I think depending on how he look after Achilles, him and Harden only gonna work if Harden allows John Wall to be the point guard at least 70% of the time and set him up and set his teammates up. They got Christian Wood from the Pistons. He's a good player. They got rid of Robert Covington, but they still got Deron House. They brought back Gerald Green. So after his little, ACL, Achilles, whatever injury he had, is he gonna be the same? I don't know how this is gonna work unless Harden is going to submit to Paul Silas, I forget his name, system. And is this system going to allow James Harden to understand that John Wall has to have the ball in his hands sometimes to create for him and Wood and House and everybody else on the team, that you can't dominate the ball and pound it, go 105. I think James Harden fell in love with D'Antoni's system, getting MVPs, but not going nowhere. And if James Harden want to win, he want to play off the ball, come off screens, catch a shoot, come off pin downs, curls, backdoors, slash off the ball. He got to do stuff of that nature, but I don't think he's willing at this point to take a step back in that. In point in Jordan's career, Texan and Phil Jackson had to force him to play without the ball and to trust his teammates to move the ball. And you're talking about a guy that won multiple scoring championships, a guy who won an All-Star MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Slam Dunk Champion, all them awards in 1 year. And they had to convince him to take a step back, trust his teammates, let Scottie handle the ball, facilitate the ball. And when Jordan figured out when to score, when to facilitate, when to do certain things offensively, when to play off the ball, when to cut, Jordan became dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And that's kind of where James Harden at. James Harden got to trust his teammates to find him, to move without the basketball. And once he move without the basketball and come off screens like Miller and pin downs and curls like Rip and Klay Thompson and play without the ball, he going to learn that it's easy to score. It's going to be easier for him to score. He's going to be a way more efficient scorer. He's going to get way more high percentage shots. He's going to get way more easy layups, backdoors, dunks. And then when he have to, he'll be able to isolate and pick and roll, I'm going to say 20% of the time. He's going to be a way more efficient scorer, way more free throws. That sounds funny if he learned to play off the ball and play like a two guard supposed to. And that's what Jordan found out. Jordan found out that I could average 27, 28 easy points a game rather than going out there getting 40 hard points a game and trust my teammates. But then again, is he going to trust House, Wood, John Wall? Is John Wall going to be healthy? Remember, he already blew his Achilles out twice. When he first got it repaired, he said he slipped on the toilet, something that the house blew it out. So, this team definitely got the makeup to get up and down the floor. And John Wall made some big shots, even though he's not a big shot. He's not a three-point shooter. So he got somebody I think he can work with. But will it work? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I still think they may trade James Harden, but pretty much Adrian Wojnarowski confirmed that his preference was John Wall over Westbrook. And then just thinking about it, he turned down a $50-something million contract extension. Does he want to be there? Is he still trying to get to Is he still trying to get to Brooklyn? There's some rumors that he's trying to get to Golden State, or Golden State want him. Especially in what happened with Klay Thompson. But, James Harden got to look and say he the problem. That's the first thing he got to do. Admit they need to tweak his game. Same thing with Giannis. Giannis got to add post-game, mid-range, floater. He got to add that to his game. He the biggest problem why Milwaukee won't win. He the number one problem. Just add him to his game. James Harden, the reason you ain't won, you don't want to let the ball go. You want to dictate and then kick. You don't want nobody create. And once he tweak his game, play without the ball, and start winning and efficient basketball, I think James Harden will win. But then again, that may come too late. And everybody put him on the pedestal. He the greatest scorer. How can you be the greatest scorer if you never scored on the biggest stage? You can't score when it matters most. You getting eliminated in the playoffs without a Kawhi Leonard and San Antonio Spurs on the San Antonio Spurs. That's idiot. That's just being an idiot if you believe he's the greatest scorer. What made Jordan a great scorer? What made him the greatest scorer? I think he still is. So is Kevin Durant. What made him the greatest scorer is that he scored in big moments. James Harden never scored in big moments. He fumbling the ball, losing the ball out of bounds versus Golden State, getting eliminated by the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard rollback. No. And that's just the issue. And, I think if John Wall continue to hit big shots, become a better shooter, it'll work. Now, if it don't work, it's basically going to be they turning John Wall, just like Westbrook into a spot-up shooter. And he, dribbling the ball, getting to the... They don't allow John Wall to be a point guard. It won't work. It won't. And I think John Wall brings some things defensively, a little bit more than Chris Paul at that point, but we'll see. I just think the Rockets they just trying to salvage what James Harden won't keep him happy, but, at the end of the day, James Harden he not willing to play winning basketball, and that's why he fell out with all his teammates. But to move on, LeBron did an interview on Complex. They had Richard Jefferson on there, and basically he admitted that he tried to sign Luka to LeBron James subsidiary of Nike like Jordan is, but he told Nike that he wanted Luka. He liked what he stood for. He loved his game, think he's going to be a big star, but Luka went to Jordan, and Nike wasn't ready to give LeBron his own subsidiary company. So, why not? LeBron James is, probably the greatest player right now going. Why can't LeBron get a subsidiary? It's all under the Nike umbrella, but basically he said Nike wasn't ready yet. And maybe because they dished out so much money to Kyrie, KD, Paul George, but it's time for LeBron. And the whole thing, what's going to be a LeBron logo? It's still going to be the Nike with the King sign on the back of the shoe. And then again, maybe they don't want current players signed to a current player. Because it wasn't no Jordan brand when Jordan was playing. I don't think it was other players signed to Jordan. I think once Jordan retired, they created a Team Jordan brand. So I think when LeBron retire, Nike going to give him his own brand, and then he'll be able to sign players. I think they think it's going to probably take away from the competitiveness in the NBA. Him and Luka squaring up in the Western Conference Finals, and Luka being signed to Team LeBron. And I will say LeBron James did take the competitiveness out of the NBA, right along with the AAU, with all these dudes being butt buddies and being cool as kids, and not really hating each other, and not being competitors, on the floor. And I think the issue was for them, they didn't want Luka signed to LeBron while LeBron was still active. And I think that's the biggest issue going right now. So my whole thing is LeBron, he did take the competitiveness out the NBA. And it was just part of the AAU unification really blowing up then. I remember Bill Walker, OJ Mayo being on the circuit. And I just think, once he created super teams, it was just no more competitiveness. I think the closest thing to rivalry still in basketball is him and Kawhi, because Kawhi Leonard don't conform to him, but we'll see. They play opening night. I would like to see Luka and LeBron James shoe and see where LeBron can take it as far as shoe creativity. But obviously, Jordan is retired. He is an owner of the NBA, but I don't think that's seen as conflict of interest. So, y'all can't wait to see what LeBron kind of logo and kind of shoes he is. Maybe he signed his son at some point. He signed a few other guys, but once LeBron James become a subsidiary imprint like Jordan was at Nike, I think it's going to be huge, and a lot of players got so much love for him, they're going to sign to him. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about LeBron trying to sign Luka, but Nike not being ready to give him his own company under the Nike umbrella. And what y'all think about James Harden preferring John Wall over Westbrook? Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out here with business, question, inquiry, sponsor, video requests. All my social media links, description. Twitter the fast way, then Facebook, then Instagram. We got a Facebook group, that link's there as well too. If you got to advertise your business on the channel, video request, chop it up. Hit me up there. You want to watch our sports live stream? Click the Sportscastr link in the description. Create a profile, is free. Whole bunch of great content creators over there. It's like YouTube for sports. The link's in the description. Other than that, you want to make a financial donation, Cash App CJGood313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Appreciate all the donations. Best donation you can make is sharing the video, hitting the subscribe button, the like, comment button, share the video. Also check out our NBA Talk video playlist for more videos like this. And check us out at Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0 for additional content and live stream because we can't go live right now. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time. Appreciate it. One time for the one time again. We gone.